Guys, check out these awesome goodies that Radiolink sent over to the channel. These are going to be used in my speedrun car for the 2024 speedrun competition. They sent over their 7-channel radio, which has a ton of programmable features through the roof, and an excellent price point. We're going to dive into that in a minute. And they also sent over the Radiolink CL9030 speed controller. Again, a ton of programmable options, good for 2 to 4S. This thing packs a lot of punch and an amazing price point as well. Let's get into these and see what they're all about.
Excellent!
Huge shout out to Radiolink. Thank you guys so much for sending this stuff over. I'm going to have links in the description box down below so you guys can find these products very quickly at the click of a button. Now, this speed controller is packed with so many features. I'm not going to go over every single one in this video. It's going to take way too long, but let's skim over some of the highlights of this thing because it's got a lot of features we got to talk about. Now, this is a brush speed controller, good for 2 to 4S. It is waterproof. It's got a built-in BEC, 5 amps at 5.5 volts, or you could upgrade that to 7.5 volts if you have a servo that can handle it. It's good for 110 scale cars, trucks, boats, crawlers, tanks, you name it. Constant output current, 90 amps at 18 volts and peaks out at 100 amps. And guys, the price point on this thing is out of this world. About $40 Canadian, about $29 US online right now. Unreal. You've got 4 ESC modes: boat mode, training mode, racing mode, crawler mode, all adjusted via jumper caps. Low voltage cutoff, overheat protection, over voltage input protection. It's low self-heating. It's got much lower resistance to competitors. In boat mode, you've got forward and reverse with no brake. Training mode, you've got forward, reverse with brake. Racing mode, forward and brake, no reverse. Then you've got crawler mode, forward, reverse, and when you drop your trigger into the center, it'll stop the vehicle like a drag brake. 16 gauge wires for the motor and battery leads. All in all, this thing has got some serious stats going for it. Let's get this thing opened up and see what it looks like. First things first, it comes in a hard plastic case. Thank you. I love that it comes in a good case. You know it's going to arrive safely and well protected. Same with this foam in here. Really nice for shipping. Got your instruction manual here, jumper caps here, and the actual ESC right here. I think it's important to compare the Cool 9030 to the Hobbywing 1060 for a few reasons. We can look at the size difference here, guys, and right off the bat, you can see the Cool 9030 is a little bit longer. Height-wise, you're about the same. It's got this little bump here where the capacitors sit, so it does sit a little bit higher, but overall the sizes are very comparable. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on the 1060. I love the speed controller, but I think I'm gonna love this speed controller even more given all the features it has and the amazing price point. Taking a quick look at it, guys, again, we've got our 2 wires, so it's good for brush motors only. You've got your XT60 plug, your on-off switch, and of course, just the plug-in for your receiver. All of the programmable features are done via these jumper caps, just like a lot of other ESCs are. And if you decide to change your ESC settings, say if you go from a boat setting to the race setting, you will have to reboot the ESC. So I'm gonna get this bad boy installed in my speedrun car, which is the MF-01X. And by the way, guys, if you haven't heard yet, we are doing the 2024 Speedrun Challenge. Starts August 15th, runs till September 30th. We got prizes, it's gonna be a ton of fun. Check out the rules video if you want to get in on it. Links in the description box below. I think that ESC is going to make a huge difference in my speedrun car. And now it is time to talk about this guy. This has got me very excited. The Radiolink 7-channel RC6GS version 3 radio. Again, guys, so many features. I'm not going to go over every single one. I've got a link down below you guys can click to do all the research yourself and find out if this is a good radio for you. I'm going to tell you right now, this is an amazing radio and a great bang for the buck. Skimming over the main features, guys, 7-channel radio with a gyro, 30 model memory. Price point's about $100 Canadian for one of these right now, which is fantastic. You've got up to 600 meters of range, real-time telemetry on screen via the R7FG and R8FG receivers. Again, a built-in gyro. Channels 3 to 7 can be customized to a 3-way switch. Channel 5 to 7 can be used for FPV and tracking. The receiver is also splash-proof, which is really, really nice. Any 2 channels can be mixed, and each channel can be customized. Integrated dual rate, cruise control, even comes with a lanyard. I'm a big lanyard guy with my radios, and I love the fact that it's got a hook and loop and a lanyard. It's got a timer for training and racing modes, ABS, fail-safe, and a 3-in-1 DSC port for simulators. All in all, that is a crazy amount of features for a $100 radio. You gotta be kidding me. Let's get this thing opened up and see what it's all about. Back in the day, you were lucky to get like steering and throttle trim for $200. It's just nuts the amount of value that you get in one of these. So here's our instruction manual. We'll dive into that in a quick second, but let's look at what we got in ZBox. This is how it came packaged. Really well packaged. Phil loves good packaging. Let's take a look at this lanyard. Look at that beauty. Nice big Radiolink lanyard with the metal clip to clip onto the radio. I love it. And here's our receiver, the R7FG. We've got 2 antennae coming out of this bad boy. Again, you get crazy range with these. So these are really good radios to use for the speedrun challenge. Just putting that out there. The footprint is absolutely tiny for a 7-channel. I'm amazed that they can pull this off with such a small footprint. Really, really cool. It came with this connector, a couple XT60s with a JST plug on the end. So what does this say? Engine, battery, and receiver connect cable for EXT telemetry. So you telemetry guys probably know more about this than I do, but I look at this and I think I could probably, run a set of extra lights, auxiliary lights or something off a crawler with this. This comes with a kit. Very cool. The radio itself. I've got big hands, and it's something about holding so many of these small radios, especially like RTRs, kind of drives me nuts. So this feels substantial. It's actually quite nice and light, all plastic from what I can tell, from a quick view. It's just bigger than your average radio. Big hands, but I can still drive one-handed with it, which is super cool. Guys, this thing is just way too nice. There are so many little buttons and switches everywhere. This is something that I've never dove into. I've never dove into anything more than a 3-channel radio. So this is kind of new territory to me. I love these switches that we have right here. We can use, that would be awesome for like hooking up a winch or something like that on a crawler. Wish I had this at Axial Fest actually. Down here, guys, 6 AA batteries, or I believe you can take this battery tray out and you can also run a 2 or 3S LiPo in here if you wanted to go that route as well. I'm a AA guy. We got to put this stuff to the test. So this radio, this B controller are all going to go into my MF-01X speedrun car, and we're going to test it out in this video to see how all this goes. Guys, we are here on site testing out the Radiolink RC6GS radio and the cool 9030 ESC. Now, if you guys were watching the speedrun challenge last year, you're gonna remember the spot. This is kind of one of my go-to running spots here. As you can see, there's a lot of construction going on, so if there's any noise, I do apologize for that. But I do like this spot because although it's a construction filled area, we do have a really nice long straight right there behind me, and back here just kind of curves a bit. Now, the reason why I wanted to select this area again was twofold. One, obviously it's close to home and I'm familiar with it. Number two, last year during the speedrun challenge, I had a really hard time with the range on my radio. Now, I was not using this radio. I was still using my FlySky GT3B. Now, I'm gonna predict from here to, if you look way back there behind me, there's a roundabout, and that roundabout is cornered off, so no traffic can come toward me. Last year, I could make it about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way to that roundabout, which is, I'd say, probably about 50 meters or so. And I saw a lot of racers using this radio last year because the range was so spectacular. So I'm really excited. So before we even do a speed run, because I haven't even dialed this car in yet, I'm gonna see if we can make it all the way down to that roundabout and back, which, if we can, that would be the longest range I've ever experienced out of an RC car surface radio. Let's give it a whirl. Again, guys, here we have the Radiolink R7FG receiver, which, as you can see, these two antennae are supposed to be separated by about 90 degrees. I haven't even done that, so that may limit my range a little bit, but I just don't have really the space on this chassis to be able to do that. Then, of course, the Radiolink cool CL9030 ESC, and we're gonna run this on a 2S LiPo hard case. That's a 5,000 milliamp pack. Oh, and before we get going, guys, I also want to mention, check out this gyro sensitivity. This is new to me. I'm new to the world of gyros. I definitely wanted to get a gyro for the speed competition, and I'm really happy that this Radiolink receiver has the built-in gyro. It'll be my first time ever using a gyro, and I really hope it helps keep the car straight, because last year I had a heck of a time keeping my TT02 straight. If I remember, if you turn down this knob here, that'll reduce the gyro sensitivity. There we go. So this knob was cranked, so my gyro is hypersensitive. So you turn it down a little bit. Might trim a little bit first. All right, let's see how she goes.
This is crazy. Ah, we're almost there. It's so far away I can't even tell, like my depth perception is completely gone. And look at that, guys, we are there. I know you can barely see this, but believe me, we are there. I'm gonna get this thing turned around and heading back. Guys, so I'm gonna say the Radiolink RC6GS is definitely a winner when it comes to range. Put it this way, you can drive your 10 scale car so far that you can't even see the darn thing anymore. So pass with flying colors. Okay, what's next? In the introduction portion of this video, I just grazed over the amount of different adjustments and tunability functionalities that exist in both the ESC and the radio. In fact, when I was going through the manual for the radio, I mean, I can't even imagine how they thought of some of these functions. More than I can even wrap my head around in the time it took me to kind of read everything, get familiarized with it, and make a video. So a great radio for long-term use as well, I'd have to say, because there's just so much you can do with it. I'm sure it could help elevate your driving to the next level. So we've got the CL9030 hooked up to a 13-turn double brushed motor. Let's see how fast we can get this thing to go. Let's see what we got. Oh, that was a hard hit. We are doing the walk of shame. You know, I think it's a couple things, guys. I struggled using these tires last year. I should have known better. They just didn't give me the best grip. Oh, that's my GPS that went flying. Okay, that could have been worse. I don't know how you guys get these things going 100 miles an hour or even 50 and keep them straight. All right, Speedo is zeroed back out again, heavily secured. I also turned down my dual rate quite a bit. Super easy, guys, to get access to your dual rate. Look at all these awesome functions here. Gyro, forward speed, oh, timers, reset language, model, EPA. Guys, it's endless. Man. $25, yeah. Okay, so it is working. Let's see if we can actually get onto it. Oh! 25 miles an hour. I just can't seem to drive this thing. Yeah, it just like all of a sudden pulls one way. Turn my gyro up a little bit, see if that helps offset it. Whoops. I've got some weird beeping going on. I've got no throttle. And I think my motor might be overheating. I can smell really hot motor. Oh yeah, that motor is cooking, guys. Yeah, she's hot. So that beeping noise is from my speed controller. It's got a built-in thermal shutoff, and I think that's what that was, because it's pretty freaking warm, and so is my motor. I don't know why I'm generating so much heat in my electronics. I barely even got going that fast. My pinion mesh was too tight on the first run, but it sounds good on this run. I quadruple checked it. Pinion mesh did not look bad, so I'm not too sure why this motor is getting so hot. I think it might just get hot by, like, in its own nature, because I had this motor in a different vehicle, my Kyosho Scorpion, Turbo Scorpion, reread. I remember running it on the beach with the Hobbywing 1060, and it was shutting down as well. So I think this motor might just run really hot. I see the Radiolink Cool 9030 has stopped beeping. The light is now green, and I'll bet you it's back working again. Very cool. We ended up testing the overheat function without really intending to test the overheat function. So we know that works. So I've got some more work to do, because I think that motor might be a bit of a problem. I'm gonna switch that motor out, try something different. And I think I've got to find a better spot to do my speed runs, because I think it's too dusty here and it's too narrow. I need more more lanes so I can really spread my wings, because I'm not a very good driver. But that's what we got, 25 miles per hour. But I'm topping out at like maybe half throttle. And then as soon as I really start getting into it, if I can keep it straight, when I start getting into it, it just wants to get squirrely and smash into a curb. So I'm on the brakes hard and that's it, it's game over. So as for the Radiolink ESC, the Cool 9030, and the radio, the RC6GS, guys, 10 out of 10, I'm happy. The range works so well, more range than you could ever want out of a surface radio. The ESC was silky smooth, nice linear response to throttle and braking. More functionality that you could shake a stick at. Thermal shutdown worked when it was supposed to work. And an unbeatable price point. Again, about $100 Canadian for the radio and about $40 Canadian for the ESC, which is absolutely bananas, even cheaper down in the US. So Radiolink, thank you so much for sending that stuff over. 10 out of 10. I'd give you an extra 5 fingers, but then I dropped the camera. 10 out of 10 on the radio and the ESC, guys. Thanks so much for sending it over. You got a thumbs up from Poor Boys RC. And for all you speed racers out there who are joining the speedrun competition, if you're looking for radio that gives you a little bit of extra range, good price point, that's your guy right there.